Welcome to Oak Tree Stories, timeless tales rooted in India. Here you'll find gentle, thoughtful tales drawn from our rich storytelling traditions, from ancient fables and folklore to heartwarming slices of modern Indian life. Each story is carefully chosen and lovingly crafted to be age appropriate and calming, with just a touch of wonder. So come, get cozy, and let the story begin. Hi, I'm Shalini, your storyteller. Before we begin today's story, it's time for this week's special artist shoutout. We recently received a beautiful drawing from Niranjana Janardhanam, who is 8 years old and lives in Bangalore. Her artwork is inspired by our story, The Clever Peasant and the Zamindar. And it shows the peasant, his wife, the Zamindar, and the corn crop, all brought so beautifully to life. The colors are so vibrant, and we love how there are little hearts drawn above the peasant and his wife. Niranjana's mother wrote to us saying that Niranjana listens eagerly to every new Oak Tree Stories episode, and that these stories are something she truly looks forward to. Messages like these remind us of why we do what we do. Thank you so much, Niranjana. If you'd like to see Niranjana's artwork, it is proudly shared on our Oak Tree Stories social media pages. And if your child enjoys drawing too, listen till the end of today's story to find out how you can send in an artwork of your own. We also want to share something new we've been working on. We now create personalized commission stories. Stories written especially for your child. For birthdays, milestones, or moments you just want to hold on to. Each story is created slowly and thoughtfully, shaped around the child it's meant for. If you'd like to know more, you can find all the details on our website at www.oaktreebooks.in/Oak Tree Stories. And now, today's story. The story you're about to hear is a folk tale from Tamil Nadu, adapted and retold by us here at Oak Tree Stories. Today's story is called The Monkey's Bargain. It's about a girl, a forest, and a bargain that seems simple at first, until it asks an important question about choice, voice, and what it really means to agree. Okay then, find a comfortable place, take a slow breath, and let's begin. At the edge of a village, close to a stretch of forest where the trees grew tall and tangled, there lived a girl with her family. She had many brothers, all older than her. They were quick, loud, and always in a hurry. The girl was quieter. Every morning she walked to school with other children from the village. And one afternoon on their way back, the children stopped to play among the trees. They climbed, they laughed, they dared one another to go higher. The girl climbed too. But when the school bell rang, the children climbed down and ran away. They did not wait. The girl could not get down. She called out. She waited. The forest grew quiet around her. When no one came, she began to cry. After some time, a monkey appeared below the tree. He sat on a rock and looked up at her. "Why are you crying?" he asked. "I can't get down," said the girl. "Please help me." The monkey tilted his head. "I will," he said, "but only if you come and live in my house." The girl was silent. "You will cook for me," the monkey went on, "and keep my house, and help me with my work." The girl looked down at the ground far below. "I don't want to," she said. The monkey shrugged. "Then stay where you are." The girl waited. The sun shifted. No help came. There was no other way down. At last, she nodded. The monkey climbed up the tree, helped her down, and led her deep into the forest, to a house made of branches and leaves. And so the girl came to live with the monkey. Time passed. The girl cooked, she cleaned, she did her work carefully. The monkey liked order. He liked rules. He liked knowing that things happened exactly the way he expected them to. And in his house, everything had a rule. The cooking fire had to be lit before the sun touched the tallest tree. If the fire was lit too early, it had to be put out and lit again. Water had to be fetched in the red pot, even if the blue one was closer. If the red pot was missing, no water was to be fetched that day at all. Sweeping could only begin from the middle of the floor. Starting at the edge, he believed invited bad luck. Bananas had to be peeled from the bottom, never the top. If peeled the wrong way, the monkey refused to eat them. And no one was allowed to speak while climbing down a ladder, because words he said might fall and break. The girl learned these rules quickly. She followed them carefully, even when they made no sense at all. She spoke little. She listened a great deal. And slowly, the monkey grew used to her being there. One day, after many months, the girl said, "I would like to visit my family." The monkey did not answer at once. He paced the floor. He counted on his fingers. He looked at the doorway, then at the window. At last he nodded. "You may go," he said, "but only for a short while." Then he laid down his rules. "You must cover your face," he said, "so no one looks at you too closely. You must not speak to anyone." The girl looked up. "How will I answer if they ask me questions?" she said. The monkey thought for a moment. "You may sing," he said, "but only sing, no talking at all." He looked mighty pleased with the neatness of his new rule. "And you must return before the sun sets," he added. The girl listened carefully. Then she nodded. "I agree," she said. She went first to her eldest brother's house. He looked at her and did not recognize her. When he asked her why she had come, the girl sang, "Climb the tree, Anna, can't come down, I'm still afraid. Take me home, Anna, it's getting dark, it's been so long." Her brother listened politely. "That's a strange song," he said. Thinking she was a wandering singer, he gave her a little food and sent her on her way. She then went to her uncle's house. When he asked her what she wanted, she sang the same song again. "Climb the tree, Mama, can't come down, I'm still afraid. Take me home, Mama, it's getting dark, it's been so long." Her uncle frowned. "Is it a riddle?" he asked. Amused, but not interested enough to think further, he sent her away. She went to another house, and then another. Each time she sang the same song. Each time no one understood. At last, she went to her mother. "Climb the tree, Amma, can't come down, I'm still afraid. Take me home, Amma, it's getting dark, it's been so long." When her mother heard the song, She did not wait for it to finish. She rushed forward and hugged her daughter close. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Then her mother said softly, "You don't have to sing anymore." The girl hesitated. She thought of the forest. She thought of the monkey's rules. She thought of the sun already moving lower in the sky. Then, for the first time since she had climbed down from the tree, she spoke in her own voice. "I don't think I'm going back," she said. Nothing happened. The sky did not darken. The forest did not stir. The world was just as it was. That evening, the girl told her family everything. They spoke quietly and made a plan. When the sun set and the girl did not return, the monkey waited. He counted the shadows. He watched the path. When the light faded and she still did not come, he stood up. Rules, he believed, worked only if they were followed. And so the monkey went looking for her. The monkey reached the village just after dawn. He walked straight down the middle of the path, as though it belonged to him. When people gathered to look, he did not lower his voice. "I have come for the girl," he said. She agreed to return before sunset. The girl stood beside her mother. She did not sing. She did not hide. "She is here," said her mother, "and she is not going back." The monkey frowned and pointed at the girl. "You gave your word," he said. "Yes," said the girl, "and I kept it. I lived in your house. I worked for you." The monkey opened his mouth to speak, but the girl raised her hand to stop him. "When you helped me down from the tree, I had no choice. I agreed because I was afraid." "That is not really agreeing," the girl said. "That is being trapped." The monkey folded his arms. "But you stayed," he said. "Yes," said the girl. "I stayed because I had no other choice." She looked at him steadily. "But now I do." The monkey was quiet. He thought of the tree, of her crying, of the bargain he had offered. "You did not want to agree," he said slowly. "No," said the girl, "I did not." The monkey shifted his weight. "And I would not have helped you if you had said no," he said. The monkey was silent for a long moment. Then he said more to himself than to anyone else. If someone cannot say no, then they were never really saying yes. The girl nodded. "That is what I wanted you to understand." The monkey turned back towards the forest. "This bargain is finished," he said, and he walked away. The girl stayed where she was. She felt the ground beneath her feet. And for the first time in a long while, she did not feel afraid. And that was the monkey's bargain. It's a story about a bargain that seemed fair at first, until it was looked at more closely. The monkey believed that agreeing was enough, until he learned what agreeing really meant. But by the end, he understood that a yes spoken in fear is not the same as a yes freely given. If you or your child have made an artwork inspired by one of our stories, we'd love to see it. You can send it to us via the art submission form on our website www.oaktreebooks.in/Oaktreestories. If you enjoy listening to Oak Tree Stories and would like to support the podcast, you can do so through a small donation on our website. Every bit of support helps us keep telling stories slowly and with care. Grown-ups, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Oak Tree Stories, where we share listener artwork, story updates, and moments from behind the scenes. Until next time, keep listening, keep thinking, and trust your voice when it's time to use it.